This video is going to cover three topics: visas and how to get them, how much. Number two, which cities you should choose to live in. And number three, the differences in dating between Thailand and Vietnamese. Oh boy, it's completely different. Here we go. Visas. Start off with Thailand. 93 countries are offered a free 60-day on arrival visa. Just show up at the airport. Boom, they are giving you 60 days free. If you want to extend 30 days, you can do that for 60 US dollars. You need to start the process about 30 days before your 60 days is up, and it's quite easy to do in any of the cities. Vietnam offers a 90-day visa, single entry or multiple entry. Single entry just basically means you come into Vietnam, you can stay up to 90 days, then you have to leave. Your visa is done once you leave. Multiple entries just means that you can go over to Laos or Cambodia, wherever you want to go to, the Philippines for a couple weeks, and come back to Vietnam on the same visa. So that only costs 50 US dollars. Now, one thing to note, in January or the beginning of February is their new year, and they can close for up to a week. So with weekends, you could be looking at a 9-day delay on getting your visa. So I suggest you do it 2 to 3 weeks before you plan on coming to Vietnam. I'll put a link to the Vietnamese website. Just make sure if you do Google, the address, the web address ends in .vn, so you know it's the official website for visas. Okay, I've chosen the 4 best cities for you, considering where to find good girls, availability, the weather or the pollution levels, foreign food availability, transportation, the vibe of the people, and of course the cost of living. So I've chosen these 4 cities, 2 in Thailand, 2 in Vietnam. Thailand, the huge city, is going to be, of course, Bangkok, which is 14 million people, and Chiang Mai, which is 1.2 million people. And the comparison cities that are also great for you, where you can find a good girl and the quality of these other things I just mentioned, are going to be, of course, Ho Chi Minh and Da Nang, Vietnam. So I say, of course, Ho Chi Minh, not Hanoi. Why? I'll tell you that in a minute. But first, as far as finding good girls, you're going to have millions of good girls available in Ho Chi Minh and Bangkok. Remember, Thailand is famous for the prostitution, the red light areas, I know. But most girls do not do that for a living. It's just what we see in our face. It's like most Africans are not starving and dirt poor. It's just what we think because the media always shows us this. But in Thailand, there's a lot of regular girls who don't want to sell their bodies, who just want a good boyfriend, whether it be a Thai guy or a foreign guy. Same in Ho Chi Minh. Ho Chi Minh, of course, is not as famous for prostitution. It definitely is big here, too. It's just hidden and not out in the open as much. Okay, so as far as finding the girls, all 4 of these cities you're going to be able to find. It's a little bit harder, I'm going to say, in Chiang Mai and Da Nang, because a lot of the women there get married quite young, 18, 19, 20 years old. They're married and maybe have a kid already, sometimes even younger. Okay, so let's compare the first 2, the big metropolises, Bangkok and Ho Chi Minh. Okay, first consideration is how much does it cost to live? Bangkok and Ho Chi Minh both are the same. A little bit different for some things, but it all comes out a wash in the end. You can get by on $1,000 a month in these cities, but you're going to have a lower quality life. You're going to live in maybe a little room in an old house in an alleyway. It might be noisy. You might smell the sewer. Okay. If you spend $1,500 a month, you're going to be able to get a nice Airbnb for $500 to $600 a month. And that's going to be in a nice building, maybe an hour away from the center. So if you want to live in the center, you're going to have to bump up your price $150, $200 for an Airbnb. To have a nice studio and or 1 bedroom. Number 2, the weather, or more importantly, the pollution. The weather is almost the same. Ho Chi Minh, 80 to 90 year round for highs. Bangkok, a little bit hotter, 85 to 93. The pollution in both of these cities on some days is bad, over the 100 IQ on the IQ air index, and sometimes under 50, and many times in the middle. So not horrible, but not really good either. The food, you're going to have foreign food available, so you can get a break from Vietnamese or Thai food, which both of them are delicious. But it's good to be able to get a hamburger for myself, or a steak, or some Mexican food, believe it or not, is really good in Ho Chi Minh. So either one of these cities is great for that option. The transportation, the traffic can be a nightmare in both Bangkok and Ho Chi Minh. It can actually be even worse in Bangkok, or it can be better if you can use the trains. It's fantastic. But if you have to use a taxi, the train doesn't go where you're going, it can take forever. And Ho Chi Minh is no piece of cake. So both of them, the danger level, if you're going to drive yourself, is high. Thailand is number 1 in the world for deaths on the road per capita. Vietnam, number 2. So dangerous places if you decide to drive, or if you decide to grab bike, which I do in Bangkok. It's a risk, but it gets your heart pumping some. Make sure you tuck your knees in and hold on to your driver. Okay, number 4, the vibe of the people. For sure, Thailand is, the people are more laid back, more smiles, more friendly. Just super, super friendly in Thailand, most of the people there. In Vietnam, the vibe is more about work, go, go, go. They're not so as much smiling. I hear people all the time on YouTube say they're really, really friendly. In the tourist areas, they're really, really friendly. When you get out and live with the normal people, there are a lot of friendly Vietnamese. More are going to be friendly than non-friendly, but some still are not that friendly with foreigners being here. That's not a high percentage, but you're definitely going to see it every day, 1 or 2, 3 that don't like foreigners being here. But in general, the vibe, you just don't worry about that too much. Okay, the next 2 cities to compare are, as I said, 1.2 million people. That is Chiang Mai in the north of Thailand, located in the hilly mountainous areas, not a high elevation, but still in the mountain areas, a ways away from the ocean, a few hours away at least. And Da Nang, which is right on the ocean, beautiful beaches. Da Nang is rated the 5th best beach in the world by TripAdvisor. So I've been there. The sand is incredible. It's like walking on air. And both cities are great. The cost of living is going to be about $200, maybe $300 cheaper than the big cities. Both cities can have some pollution. Now, a special note, Chiang Mai has unbelievably some of the worst pollution, if not the worst pollution in the world during the burning season. As I mentioned, over 100 on the IQ air is bad. Chiang Mai can get up to 300, 350 plus on bad days during the burning season. Burning season can start as early as January and can go as late as May. It's usually about 3 months, depending on the rice crop. Okay, so the weather, very similar, beautiful weather. It's going to be a little bit cooler in Da Nang. It can get down to the 67, I believe, is the high in the average in the winter months, December and January, and gets a little bit hotter in the summer in June and July, up to 93, 94, 95. Okay, availability of foreign food. Surprisingly enough, Da Nang has some amazing foreign food. Chiang Mai also has the availability of foreign food, although I can say I've not eaten foreign food there. So I've just heard this from other people that it's quite good, the foreign food there. Of course, you're going to have great Thai food there and great Vietnamese food in Da Nang. Da Nang also has great seafood there because it's right on the ocean. It's so fresh. So as far as transportation, it's way easier in these 2 cities to get around. You're not going to have to worry about big traffic jams. It's quite fast. It's much safer on bikes there. Although people still do drive too fast. They don't understand how Vietnamese people drive and Thai people drive. It takes a while to get used to. Of course, in Thailand, you have to be careful, really careful crossing the street. Maybe 3 or 4 times I've almost got hit by a car because I looked the wrong direction when I was crossing the street. So try really hard to make yourself remember to look both ways before stepping out. Remember that little thing we're taught as children. Look both ways, because you can step out and boom, you're in the hospital or worse. Okay, so the next thing is the vibe of the people. The vibe of the people in both of these places are both laid back, extremely laid back in both cities. Very friendly. Da Nang people are definitely much friendlier than, on average, than Ho Chi Minh people. Again, Ho Chi Minh is a bustling city. It's more stressful. It's a work, go. People come here to work and make money to send to their family or for themselves to build a family. There's more of a stress here in Ho Chi Minh. Da Nang, the people are much more laid back. Oddly enough, the foreigners in Da Nang are super friendly to me when I go there. It was shocking because in Ho Chi Minh, foreigners are really not friendly to me. Do not move to Pattaya or Phuket if you're looking for a real girlfriend. So many of the girls there work in the prostitution business, and those are not girls you want to date, okay? Don't try and be a hero. You will be a zero. Okay, so there's other places, Hua Hin, other beautiful places, Khoi Samui, where you can go, but the population is much, much smaller. Your availability of dating. So that's why I chose those 4 cities. Okay, lastly, most importantly, or really important, how to meet Thai and Vietnamese girls and or women. So they are very, very different in their cultures and their personalities. Start with how to meet them. So Thai girls, you don't need to get on dating sites before you get here. You can do that once you're in Thailand if you'd like, but it's quite easy when you're out and about. Thai girls are very strong with their personalities, aggressive. They will look at you when you walk down the street, smile at you. They will literally stare at you. It's unbelievable. They just won't take their eyes off you if they're interested or they're just being nice, right? So very easy to strike up a conversation with Thai women. Vietnamese women, completely the opposite. They're very shy. They're very withdrawn and reserved. So that's why if you're going to come here a month or two, 6 weeks, 8 weeks before you come here, get on the dating sites, VietnamCupid.com, a Bumble, or whatever one you, Tinder, whatever one you choose. And you can meet them before you come here. And one note, don't tell them the day or the time you're coming. You don't want to meet any girls at the airport, because what will happen is you'll be so excited to see this 5'2" Vietnamese, good-looking girl, amazing body, and you're going to go boom, and you're going to lose it. And you're not going to be able to think clearly. You're just going to say, oh, she's the one. So just take your time. You're going to be able to eliminate some gold diggers if you get on those websites. You're going to be able to eliminate girls if you don't get a good vibe with them. So you're going to narrow it down to 1, 2, hopefully 3, 4 girls that you're interested in by going on those dating sites. Go out on a date with them. Do not try to hold their hand, kiss them. Don't try to do anything. Don't even talk about sex. It's not Vietnamese culture, okay? So with Thai girls, it's going to be much easier to go out on dates with them. But also with Thai girls, don't push the button. Yes, you may have success, but the problem is they're going to think that's all that relationship is about. So if you're just here for hookups and you want to meet a bunch of different girls, that's not really what my channel is about. My channel is trying to help you find a good girlfriend and find happiness that can last year after year, and at least give you a shot at that possibility. But if you try and sleep with these girls too fast, they're going to automatically think you're a playboy. And even if they choose to do that, you're not going to find a girlfriend in that. Or if you do, it'll be very insecure, not good relationship. It won't be happy. Are you handsome? Are you okay? Or are you not handsome? Right? So I'm going to tell you there's a big difference here too. With Thai girls, they prefer more that you're handsome, fit. It's more important to them. They like that. Where the funny thing with Vietnamese girls, they actually don't like that. I know this personally. When I came here the first time, a long, long time ago, I had a six pack. I'm pretty tall, lifted weights quite a bit, so I was handsome when I was younger, not anymore. And I can tell you, they just don't care. And I had money too at that time. Uh, One of the few times in my life I had money. But so they just don't care. And as a matter of fact, it's a deterrent for them. They think that you're going to be a playboy. So they actually prefer guys that are not so handsome, more normal and average. That is a bonus for you if you're an average looking guy. So I'm not saying there's no Vietnamese girls that like handsome guys, because there are, and they do. But in the end, they usually choose a guy that's not too handsome. They don't want to go through the heartache of him dating or having a bunch of girlfriends. And Thai girls, it's not super important, but it's more important for sure. But it's not a deal breaker for Thai girls. Remember, whenever we date outside our country, with a different race or nationality, usually their looks go up higher for us because it's something different. We're excited for something different. So we think they're better looking than what maybe men from their own country feel. I have a lot of Vietnamese guys that have commented on my Vietnamese are the most beautiful women videos and said, you're crazy. There's no way Vietnamese are the best. I like white girls. So men tend to like something a little bit different, and women also are the same, 100% the same, which is a good thing for foreign men coming here. Another difference, Thai girls are going to give you more space. They're not going to text you as much as a Vietnamese girl. Vietnamese girls are very, very jealous. Thai women can be jealous too, but they have more pride, so they try not to bother you too much, and they try and be stronger. But Vietnamese girls, they want to text you. They're going to test you in many ways, and they want quick replies on the text, or their mind's going to start to wander where you are. There's so many beautiful girls here in Vietnam that they feel like, oh, they're nothing special, or they're average, or maybe you want somebody else. So they're can be very insecure. And so you need to really pay attention with Vietnamese women, or again, Thai women will let you have a little bit more freedom. Okay, so the last thing, and we'll wrap this video up. Thank you if you stayed this long. I appreciate it. Is that both of these countries have poor women who would love to date a foreigner to take them to the foreigner's home country and have a better life, send money back to their families. And some people call it gold diggers. Yeah, for sure. That's what it is in a sense. But remember that their mentality, their knowledge of America, or a European country, or wherever you're from, especially America or first world countries in Europe, they don't understand what it is like to live, the reality. They see it through CNN, they see it through movies, and we know that movies and mainstream media are so bad at portraying the truth. So they have an idea like our life is so easy there, we're so lucky. So to take money from us, they just don't have that guilt, right? They don't know that many guys work, wake up at 4:30 in the morning and go work outside in construction jobs, or have dangerous jobs, or are truck drivers, or whatever your job is. Even if it's you're a lawyer, or you've got a white collar job, it's stressful, right? In America, it's not easy. They don't understand that. So you got to remember and have some compassion for them when they try and scam you, that they just feel like they were born into a bad situation. They didn't have air conditioning growing up. Maybe they saw their grandparent die because they didn't have money to go to the hospital. And instead of complaining or crying to you, they get this mentality, let me make sure I can get some money. So when I realized this, it really helped me not get angry when I meet girls that are trying to get something off of me, because they just don't know. There's so much bad information on the internet, on so many websites, and especially movies and the news. Whenever they see it, it's just so ridiculous. So you have to have some compassion, and then you'll be a much happier person when you're staying here. If you guys have any questions about that, just be careful. Don't try and be a hero. There are rich people in both of these countries, and they can get rich themselves through true and hard work and smart work, just like you can in America and almost every other country in the world. If you work hard, work smart, you can make money and become successful. Okay, so put your comments or any questions. I'll be happy to help if I can. And see you guys in the next video.